I think that creative innovation's always been a part of our church. From the very beginning, we've always thought, how do we reach people? And reaching people through the arts is, I believe, like one of the most impactful ways to see people empowered to use the gifts that God's actually given them to draw people back to Him. I think that's like, there's nothing greater than seeing that.
So we do prayer and fasting almost every year. And we always do a songwriting retreat at the end of prayer and fasting. So we take away some of our songwriters and for the last week of prayer and fast, and then we just start writing for like full days. And there's one and it's in a project called Join the Table. And we were away at a songwriting retreat when that came actually, and it came out of a prayer meeting.
Join the Table is really special. I think it was special because it was the first major project that we'd done as a team. And I think there must have been about 60 different people that were involved in planning out this story, which was just retelling the story of the prodigal son, but telling it in a way that was relatable.
So Above All was the second album that we did that I was a part of. And yeah, that was a really cool project. It was, I've never been a part of a church that was releasing music, so there was a lot of excitement and I guess nerves and anxiousness, but it was really cool to kind of sit down and think about what do we want this to be visually, and how can we connect the songs to the visual aspect and point it obviously back to God, but in a really cool, creative way.
Rocco started life as a series of puppet shows for the kids ministry.
C3 Kids Creative over the years has made like hundreds of Rocco episodes now, loads of activity pages. We've done an Easter book and a Christmas book that we gave to families as part of those occasions.
And then once the pandemic hit, we realized that we were going to be in need of material, not just for the online service, but for kids ministry as well. And so we brought up the fact that we had this library of Rocco videos, and that was very quickly retooled into the Rocco and Friends that we all know and love today.
One Easter, we thought, wouldn't it be great to really talk about hope knows your name, that Jesus knows your name. And so we got the whole church to write their names down. We scan in everyone's individually handwritten cards, and then we thought, well, what are we going to do with these? And so we decided, I remember contacting James and saying, what do you think about projecting onto buildings in the city?
And I said, we can do that in After Effects, right? And she said, yeah, but we're not going to. And I said, oh, okay, sounds good. Let's see how we can pull that one off.
and then we as a team, we wrote this whole script about how, that Jesus knows people's names.
And we ended up driving around the city late at night, I think it was an all-nighter, in the dead of winter, projecting names on the sides of buildings.
We had people coming up to us just saying, what are you doing? And so we got to invite people to our Easter service. The worship team wrote a song to go with it.
Refuge was the same. We were able to sing it together for the first time in Massey Hall, which to any musician, that's insane. And then you add on to do church in a venue like that, and it makes it even more insane. So that was a really cool one to be a part of.
We had this idea as a team that what if we told the story between the death and resurrection of Jesus? Because when you put yourself in that place, you're like, wow, this is actually really fascinating. And what if we told it as a true crime documentary? Because that was really big at the time. Ended up doing it as production, and then we sort of added video elements to it. And it was amazing. I think we saw over 75 people in one service make decisions to follow Jesus. I remember us just talking and saying, what if we turn this into a film? And that's what it started as. It started as a what if.
We had just a slew of people come out and volunteer their time on the shoot days. We had to dress this set to make it look like a police station, and we had to dress a bunch of extras in police uniforms. So the collaboration was awesome.
I see a church that is full of vibrant, that our youth is vibrant, that it's engaging, that it's a place where people want to be. I see a kids ministry that's thriving, that families are planted in the house of God. I see it being feature films. I see it being things that will produce that, that we'll see go so much further than just the four walls of our church. But I see the four walls of our church expanding, and I see it being a big house with many, many, many rooms.